Next Gen Pastor at Gateway Bible Church. And, I was reading on the internet the other day, and I came across this weird little story. I never knew this, and so I just want to share it with you. Did you know that Henry Ford forgot to put a reverse gear in the very first car that he put out, that he marketed? He forgot to do that. And this is what he said, man, I knew I was gonna blow it. And if you're like me, you probably have a timeline of failures in your life. Not that they're all bad, but usually after every failure, you may just find yourself walking into success. But I want to tell you, remember this. If you don't remember a lot of what I'm going to say today, remember this. Just because you maybe have failed, it doesn't make you a failure, all right? Because success and failure, they go hand in hand. Nobody succeeds every time, right? And nobody is a failure every single time. It's almost like success and failure, they're kind of like merged or married together. You really can't have one without the other. Just think about athletes, for example. They have to probably go through a lot of failures before they're finally hitting a lot of successes. What is Babe Ruth known for? Is he known for having over 1,330 strikeouts? Every time he went up to bat, like, wow, the guy is nothing but a strikeout. Or is he known for being the king of home runs? That I think he had like about 770 home runs. That is what Babe Ruth is remembered for being an amazing baseball player. Not for being a failure, right? But failure and success, they kind of go hand in hand. And so really, they're not all that bad. And I just want to tell and share with you today that there is hope over failure. Just because you may have failed at something, you are not a failure. For example, let's look at the life of David. David had a ton of failures in his life, right? He wasn't without failure. And he writes in Psalms 13, this is really kind of cool. This is pretty interesting, because I know I have felt this way. I was just whining to my wife yesterday. And I don't normally share those with everybody, because I never share this with anybody, but I shared it with my wife. I go, dude, I feel so emo, man. And I don't feel emo, but I did yesterday. And I was like, oh man, I'm just feeling so emo today. And I feel bad, and I just really don't know why. But David, man, he was in an emo state, I guess. This is what it says in Psalms chapter 13. He asked this question to the Lord, how long? Have we ever felt that way when we're in a tough time? Oh God, how long is this going to last? How long is this going to go on for, right? This is what David says. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? How long am I going to be a failure? How long am I going to feel this way? But we know that David doesn't feel that way forever. Things and circumstances did change for David, and they changed for you, and they changed for myself as well. We don't live in failure, and just because we may fail at something doesn't mean you or I are a failure. Success does come. Think about it. How many times did Thomas Edison try and make a light bulb happen, right? He said it took over 5,000 attempts before he finally figured out the right combination to make a light bulb. Is that 500 failures? Probably, because he made a success, or maybe on 5,001. But those were 5,000 opportunities, actually, maybe that he had to figure out what didn't work so he could find out what does work and could work. And so this is what David says, and he ends this in this emo state, and maybe this is where I am today now. But he says this, I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. I'm going to sing. In the midst of my emo-ness, I didn't feel like singing, but I feel a lot better today. I'm not dragging my feet. I'm not texting my wife going, dude, I feel all emo. Actually, I can rejoice in God today. I'm excited with what God is doing in my life and here in the life of the church. And I can say, man, I will sing to the Lord, for he has done great things and he is doing great things in me. So let's remember that. Failure doesn't mean Just because you fail doesn't mean that you are a failure. And failure and success are merged together, because a lot of success happens because we have learned from our mistakes through some of our failures. And for the last thing, If there's two things you can remember this as well. Failure, or you can say this to yourself, failure doesn't define me. It refines me. Have a great day.